Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. So in this video we are going to discuss or start with the chapter function in the C programming. If you have not watched our previous videos related to loops and conditional statement along with uh, a pattern question video is also uploaded. You can check it out from the playlist section. Also computer fundamentals, basics and intermediate questions are done with PYQs, so you can check it out from the playlist section of this channel, and don't forget to subscribe the channel for getting future updates. Let's go to our notes of function, and in today's video, as mentioned in the schedule, you can check the schedule in our post section of the channel. So according to that schedule we are going to complete the conceptual part of the function chapter in today's video. So before continuing with the function, let's go to the Excel and let's get a rough idea. Okay, actually we were doing this pattern questions, we will be continuing it, but for now let's understand the function. Function is what you can consider function as a machine, uh, which machine inside which if we give some input and tell him to do something, the machine will perform the task and give you that output. Okay, so you can consider it as the output and this is the input actually. Okay, so this machine, we are writing this machine actually. Okay, the process of this machine, what this machine will do, so we will write the code of that thing. So that's called actually function. If I tell you more about function, function is actually in our coding purpose, functions are actually code snippets. Okay, the snippets which are helping us to perform some operations and returning us some value. In some cases it is just performing that operation and it will not return some value. Okay, so like function can be different types. It can get input and return output. It can only get the input but it will not return any output but perform some internal operation for some memory based operation. Actually returning us is not needed in this type of function. Okay, and yeah, that is the thing. So like there can be another function which will not take any type of input, just we have to call the function and it will perform some operation. Okay, it's not it's not taking any input value and not returning any output value, but it is performing some operation. Okay, whenever we are calling. So if I discuss about the function or if I write a function, let's go and check out how we can write a function. Just let me close it. Okay, so the thing is that let's open online C compiler and it will be easier for us to understand about the function. Previously what we were doing, we are writing each and every line of code inside this main function. Okay, so actually main is also a function from where execution starts. So main is actually a function. Printf is a function which is an inbuilt function in the header file stdio.h. Okay, scanf is also a function. If we write scanf and take a value, so this scanf is also a function under this header file. The code snippet actually already written inside that file stdio.h file. Now let's we will be making user defined function. Okay, so what will be the function's definition or how to write a function? At first here, the part of function. Okay, let me at first give a demo how a function should be written and then I will discuss about the different parts. So at first we will write this. Let's say for now let's keep it as void. Void means what the function will return. It can be an integer type value, it can be a character, it can be it can be like the function only executes but does not return something. In that case we are actually using void. So void is used in function when we need not to return anything from the function. So in that case we want that whenever we are calling the function it should print, okay, it should print whatever, like welcome message. It should print a welcome message. So void print, okay, like whenever we are passing a name inside that function, it should welcome that name. Okay, it will be the functionality. So what we will do, so this is the return value. Why return value is void? Because it will not return anything, it will directly print. That is the thing. So this is the function's return value. After that we have to write the function's name. So welcome, let's write the function name as welcome. Now open and close the bracket, and inside it you have to pass the variable. So in our case we are going to dynamically pass the name of the person, okay, or name of whatever it is. So it should not be an integer type, it can be a like character type, okay, it can be a character type. So like let's pass a name, and after that what we have to do, we have to simply printf that welcome percentage c and then the name, okay. And now after writing this we can call this function using this name welcome. So here what we'll do in our main program, wherever it will be needed, here let's pass a string name, okay, like let's pass a name as, this is my name, so Gaurav, I have passed Gaurav. Just a second. Now it should print on the screen whenever we will be running. Main function will execute and on the screen it will print welcome then my name. Okay, it should print like that. So let's see. I think okay. It is a character type. So like what we have to do actually, let's see now if it works or not. Just a second. Okay, so the problem was like I forgot to like I directly assign this array type of thing, because we are name means it's a string, so it's a character type of string and we are accepting it. And here also we have to write percentage s instead of percentage c because it's a character type. So like it's a string type. So as you can see here is welcome and then my name. We can make it dynamically also. Let's instruct the user to enter his number. So enter enter your name, then we are going to take the name using the scanf inbuilt function, which is under, oh sorry, percentage s, and here inside name variable, but before that we have to initialize it. So sorry, it's not int, it's a char and name, okay. Now after that what we have to do, we have to take the name and after that we have to pass this name, okay. So it should be dynamical for now. Let's run it. What is the problem? Let me see. If we give a size or length, okay, so here you are 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, like let's keep it like that because we have given the length as like this, okay. So now if we enter, as you can see this is printing that, okay. So like dynamically we are taking the name and we are printing welcome message, and printing welcome message, this task is done by this function welcome which we have written. So till now what we have done, we have seen how to declare, how to write a function and use it, how to call it, okay, we are calling the function actually here. So that is the thing. Now let's go to our notes. Okay, before going to our notes, let's try with other things. Like let's say there is a task to uh, return the sum. Okay, it will take two numbers and the function will return the sum of that two numbers. So okay, let me keep it separately. Let's comment out it and let me write another function here. So let's write another function. So what will be the return type? Integer, because it will take two integer value and our task is to return a value or take a value from this number. So the number should return something. Okay, in previous case, functions task was just to print the welcome message, but in that case our function named as sum is going to return integer value, which is the sum of the two numbers, int a and int b. Definitely we have to write it comma separately. After that, what we have to do, we have to just perform, we can just perform a operation like after before that. Let's declare a variable, and inside it we are going to store the value of a plus b. Now we are going to return the value itself. Now whenever we will be passing some values. Okay, just a second, let me comment it out. Okay, whenever we are going to call this function by passing some values, let's say 5 comma 6. Okay, now what it should return, it should return something. So definitely we can directly print it, or we are going to declare a variable called result, and inside it we are going to store that result, because it's going to return the sum in the integer format. Okay, now after that, if we printf that value percentage d as it's an integer value, and after that let's print the result, it will be better to print. Okay, so here also we can see, we can say sum is then this. Okay, so that is the thing. Now what we are going to do, we are going to simply run this function. Let's see. Okay, sum is 11. Why? Because we have passed 5 and 6. It's going to the function, it's performing the operation c equals to 5 plus 6, and the result is 11. It's returning c, the value of which is 11 after calculation. And now after storing the value in the result, we are printing it. Okay, so that is the process. Now previous function was a type of with uh, without input value and without return value. Okay, and it's the function of type with input value and with return value also. So that is the thing. We can directly print the sum here also. So if I convert this function to print sum, so what we have to do, we have to, instead of returning that, we can directly printf the sum here. So what we are going to do, we are going to print it like the sum is, then colon, and after that the value c. So we have to write percentage d inside and comma, and this percentage d value will be taken from c. So this function is actually not returning anything. It will just take two values and it will print the sum, corresponding sum. Okay, so if we attach a slash in here, so it will go to the next line. And okay, just a second. So we are okay, function name, we have to remember that whenever we are passing some values to the function, so we have to keep in mind the function name should be correct to which we are passing the numbers. Yeah, it is also printing 11. The thing is that here we need not to write that print statement multiple times. We can we can simply, instead of storing it, okay, storing is also not needed. Just if we run it now, it will just print sum for us. In the next line also, how many any, okay, the number of times we are calling the function can be anything. Okay, it does not matter. So if we, just a second, Let me just copy it, and in the next line let me print it. Instead of 5 6, let me pass 5 and 27. Okay, we want the sum of 5 and 27, and also here we want the sum of 6 and 6. Let's see, it should print three sums. Okay, sum, first wala sum is 11, second one is 32, and 12 is of 6 comma 6. Okay, third one. So this is the thing. Instead of writing function, if we try to do it manually, then we have to write this code snippet three times, which will make our code bigger. So that is the use of function. Function is actually making the code more readable, as well as easy to change. Okay, easy to change, easy to fix any bug in the code. Also, function is making our like execution easier. Okay, so that is the thing. And flexible. Okay, so that is the thing. Flexibility actually increased, because whenever we need to print the sum, we are just simply calling the function and passing the value. So that is the thing. Likewise, for printing anything, this printf function is written inside this stdr.h file, which is the inbuilt in C. Okay, so that is the thing. Now, if you encounter any question like what type of functions are there, so like there can be inbuilt function and user defined function. Two types of functions are there. Now inside of user defined function, there can be like different type of functions with return value and without input. Okay, with input, without return value. So this type of combination can be there, but the main thing is there is inbuilt and user defined function. Inbuilt function example is printf, scanf, and in the math.h library, sum, and this type of things. And user defined function, as an example, you can write this code. Okay, you can just write a function for taking two numbers and printing the sum of those numbers, or returning the value. So that is the thing. Okay. Okay, now let's go to our notes. Let's see what is written here. Introduction to function. Okay, a function is a block of code that perform a specific task. Definitely function is performing a specific task. Okay, function helps in modularizing code. Okay, we are modularizing code. Let's say in a program we need to we need to print something somewhere and print something somewhere and perform some operation like multiplication, division, and this type of things somewhere. So we can write separate code from those operations. Okay, so that is called modularization. So function helps in modularizing the codes, making it reusable, because as you can see the example, we can reuse for different values. Okay, we can reuse the function for different values. So that is the thing, making the code reusable and easier to maintain. Definitely every C program has at least one function which is main. So there can be a yes no question that every C program has at least dash functions. Okay, so in this fill in the blank type of question, you can put one. Definitely main function is used for what? Main function is used for C programming execution start. Okay, so whenever main function like C programs execution starts always from the main function. Okay, so that is the thing. So every C program has at least one function. That is a very important point. After that, advantage of function: reusability. Definitely write once, use multiple times. Modularity, same thing is written here. Readability definitely improves code organization. Debugging and testing, I have already mentioned these things. Okay, so that is the thing. Now let's discuss about the function syntax. Function syntax we have already done. At first there is a like return type. Okay, it can be it can be void, it can be int, it can be char. Okay, according to what the function should return. If it should not return anything, then just put the return type as void. I have shown you the example. After that there will be function name, and inside it these things are called parameter. As an example, in this function we are passing two parameters, okay, a and b, two parameters with their data types. You have to pass those parameters with the data types also, so keep in mind, okay. After that, inside it function body or execution logic is written, and at last if the function is returning anything, okay, if the type is like int, void, not void actually will not return anything. So in case of void type of function, there will not be any return something, this statement which is written here. But in case of char and this type of things, there can be return statement or cannot be, okay, according to what is written over here, okay. In the if it is written as void, then there should not be any return type or any return statement. If instead of void anything, any other thing is written, then you should return a value after execution, okay. So that is the thing. Now as an example, some function is written here, you can check it out. Now compares components of a function, okay. So what is the components of a function? Return types. Specific specifies the data type of the value. I have already discussed in the easy language, you can just check it out, okay. I'm not rereading this thing. Use void for function does not return any value, okay. After that there is function name. Identifiers you used to call the function. We use the function name definitely to call the function, as we have done in the some program previously at the beginning. And after that follows C naming rules. Cannot start with a number, no. So during like giving the name of the function, as I have given print sum here, print sum is the name of the function. You have to keep in mind that the starting letter, like the function name cannot start with a number and space, etc. This type of thing you can check it out from the Google also. Now after that parameter, so after that inside the bracket we have to pass the parameters and arguments, okay, using which the function should execute something. Now this argument can be, we can give the argument. In some cases we need not to give argument. Let's say there is a function, there is a function which will only print something, okay. So return type also will be void, and then let's say print random, okay, print random. There we should not give anything, okay. So input parameters are not needed. The work of this function is just to print a random word. So we are just printing random word. So in that function, as you can see, return type is also void. We are not passing anything because for execution nothing is needed, and there is no return statement, okay. After that there should be a return statement if it is returning anything, but here it is not because the return type is void, okay. So this combinational functions can be there, different type of combinations can be there. Here what is input values passed to the function can be 0 or more, okay. Definitely function like whatever we are passing to the function, it can be multiple or it can be sometimes 0, as I have shown you. And after that has two parameter. This is an example. After the function body where we are writing the code logic, and then return statement, whatever we are returning after execution, okay. If the return type is void, then we need not to return anything, okay. After the type of function, so library function, library as I have mentioned that user defined function, inbuilt or library function or predefined function. So these are the type of function. Inside here you can see that printf, scanf, sqrt actually in the math.h header file, this is like defined, which actually do the square root of a number with some with respect to some another number. So that we will be discussing about it, but for now what is written here is that already defined in the C libraries. These library functions are actually already defined in the C libraries. After the user defined function which we have written recently, this type of functions which we are or we have to make is called user defined function, okay. Now function declaration versus definition. What is function declaration? Means prototyping, okay. We are actually writing the prototype of the function, okay. Just we are declaring it. declaring it means we are just writing it. Okay, we are just writing this line, the basic structure, not the body. Okay, so likewise, if I show you an example here, let's remove it and just write this int add function. Okay, like there will be return type, function name, and which values it will take. That is the thing. Okay, now if I remove it from here, and after main function if I write the actual logic, okay, let's go and write the actual logic after the main function, so then it will work for it also. Okay, just let me remove it and let's add the actual function name. So after main function we are writing, right? So what it should, okay, actually we have not printed anything. uh, it's returning some value, so we have to declare a separate variable to store that value, as it's returning a value, so result, and after that we are going to printf the value. So result is actually storing a integer type of value and we can directly print it. Okay, result. Okay, now if we run the function you can see the sum is printed. Okay, now let's say we have not done the prototyping because as you know this is the complete function, but whenever we are writing the function logic after the main function, then we have to at first prototype it here before the main function. If we remove that prototyping from here, now you will see an error. You should see, yeah, you can see that error. The main function now cannot access this add function because it is derived after the main function or declared after the main function. If we want to declare any function after the main function, then we should at first define it on the top of the main function or before the main function, then only we can write the actual logic after the main function. So you need to keep in mind. And there is no problem if we are directly writing the logic here. Okay, just a second. If we are directly writing the logic on the top or before the main function, then there is no need of separate prototyping. Okay, we can directly write like the structure with the logic. Okay, so that is the thing. Now this is actually called okay, now function declaration means, I have shown you, means just writing that part, uh, the function declaration, and after that you can write the functions code anywhere in the program after the main function also. So that is the thing, function definition. So you should remember these things, the function declaration and function definition, and third part is function calling, which is done inside the main function. Okay, here we are actually calling the function. We have written the function name and passing some values and calling the function, that function, hey function, just perform this operation and return me that value. So that is the function calling. Okay, so yeah, that is called the function calling. So function declaration versus function definition done, calling of function done. uh, as you can see, this is the syntax, function name, and then the arguments which we should pass to the function, and the function is expecting. A function is executed when it is called, definitely. If I just a second, just a second. Okay, if I do not call it here, okay, if I do not call this add function here, it will not return any value and we cannot get the result, right? So function, if we do not call the function, then we are not using the function. C program will assume that we are not using the function. So that is the thing, that is called function calling. Okay, a function is executed when it is called. Syntax is, at first we have to write the function name, then we have to pass the arguments. After that, int result, there is an example is given. Okay, yeah, after that parameter passing. Okay, so just a second, let me check it out. Okay, parameter passing, we can pass the parameters into the function as I have shown you. In our program we are passing the parameter a and b. Okay, so these are the parameters. and we are passing the parameters actually from where, from the main function. So here you can see we are passing the values of those parameters, like expected values of those parameters to that parameters. So that is the thing. Now here let's see the example. A copy of values is passed. A copy of values is passed. Changes inside the function do not affect the original value. Okay, so in that case, if you see that example, here is a function of increment which is actually used to increase the value of given, increase the value of uh, like whatever value is coming to that function. In the main function, a variable num is declared and value is assigned as 5, and we are passing num value inside the increment function. Now whenever we are passing, it's coming here and it's going inside the body, and the value of x means 5 increased to 6. Okay, 5 increased to 6, but as we are not returning it, okay, as we are not returning it, or it will not be changed. Okay, the actual parameter definitely will not be changed. This is the parameter which value will be changed, not the actual parameters value. So we are actually starting now pass by value. Okay, this is the case when we pass by value. Now in your in your mind there can be a question that then somehow can we change the actual value, like here in this case the value of num, can we change it? If I see like show you this example, if I run it, you can see, you will be able to see the actual value of before passing. Let's print the value of num before passing to the function. So in that case it should return 5. Okay, and let's print it after passing to the function. Okay, let's write it, let's print it, let's see. Printf. Okay, actually we have not added has include stdio.h, has include stdio dot h. Now if we execute it, you can see both values are equal. Actually I forgot to give a slash n, like print to new line, so that it's printing in the same line. But yeah, this value is before passing to the function and this value is after passing to the function. Value remains same. Why? Because whenever we are passing to this parameter in the function, which is not a global parameter, it's a local parameter, it's changing the value of that x variable. The value of num is copied to the x first, then the copied value of x is changed. The value of this x parameter actually changed, but not the value of num changed. Okay, so can we change the actual value, or the value of actual parameter? Yes, we can change. So we have to pass by reference. Reference means address. If we we will be studying about the pointer letter, so there I will be discussing it in detail, but for now let's discuss it in short in the understandable format. Now the what it is, the address of the variable is passed actually instead of the actual parameter. Okay, the address of the variable is passed instead of the actual parameter. Here we are uh, passing the actual variable which is num, but here we are going, instead of passing that actual variable, we are going to pass the address in the memory where the value of this variable is stored, or this variable is stored in the memory, in which location, that location we are going to pass. So how we can pass this? So changes inside the function affect the original variable definitely. If we pass by reference or pass the address directly, then it change directly go to the root means address, and it change the value. So as an example, here we have to pass the address of the number variable using the operator. Okay, so AND operator is doing what? If we write AND operator actually extract the address of num variable. Now I will show you, let me show you printf. Here, if I print the address of num, okay, you can definitely will be able to, like, you will be able to see the address. Okay, let me show you. Just let me comment it out for now. Let me comment the function call out for now, and just comment, let me comment out the function also. Now we are just going to store the value to the function, then we are going to like print the value of the function and print the address of the variable. So let's see, address of num. Okay, oh, actually what we have to do, we have to simply, like, here we have to write percentage. mm, let's check it out with this at first, with the percentage d. Yeah, it's printing something. Okay, just a second. So let's print the address in the next line. I think it's giving something different. Let me see it. Okay, okay, so the thing is, instead of passing percentage d, we have to pass percentage p. So the format specifier for printing the address is percentage p, not percentage d. So if you print the value, now you can see a hexadecimal like address, because address is actually in the hexadecimal format. So that's why you can see the 0x and this type of things. Okay, this is in hexadecimal format. So yeah, that is the part how we are taking the address of the variable. Now let me okay, this was the part. Now we are passing the address of the num instead of the num variable directly. Okay, let me remove this print. Actually, inside the increment function we are passing the address, and here how we can accept it. Actually, using a pointer variable we are going to accept the address, because address is only acceptable by the pointer variable. We cannot accept it using a normal variable. So that is the thing. So we are accepting using a pointer variable. Now star x means the value, x means the address, and star x means the value. Whenever we are passing address of num and accepting it like that, that means after that line x will be holding the address of num variable. Okay, and star x will be holding the value stored in that address. Okay, and we have to increase the value stored in that address. So definitely that's why we are actually increasing the value of star x, because star x is representing the value stored inside that address. Okay, so at first we are accessing the address using x variable, and instead of this we are going to access the value stored in the, just a second, value stored. Okay, let me check what is happening. Now inside this bracket we can pass it. Now we are actually affecting the value. Actually, now you can see, after passing to the function, instead of returning anything, the value of num is changed, because we are changing it from the root by accessing the address of that variable. So that is the pass by reference. Okay, so that was a basic about pass by reference. You can practice it out with different type of examples. Now recursion. So what is function, what is recursion actually? Recursion means whenever function is calling itself. Okay, so let's say in some function Recursion actually like a loop. Okay, it works like a loop. You can take a basic idea of recursion using a loop. So recursion actually uh, what it is doing is that it replacing the loop in our program actually. So as an example, uh, okay, let me show you here by drawing. It will be better. Let's say, uh, let's say, mm, as an example, there is a, okay, let's take a bucket. Okay, let's take a bucket, and let's say there is some water. Let's say there is some water. Let me color it. Oh, sorry. Let me. Okay, this is actually the level of water for now. Now, what we want that there is a human, or let's say this is a character for our experiment, and now we have told this character to go and take water bottle by bottle, like he will go with a bottle in his hand. He will fill up it using the water present in the bucket and return and pour it in the another bucket. Okay, pour it in the another bucket and do it till this bucket is empty. Okay, do it till this bucket is empty. So that is actually recursion. Like you are going to that bucket and coming back, and you checked that bucket is not empty. Again you are going to the bucket again. So that is actually recursion. Okay. So you are performing same operation, same thing again and again. Likewise, in case of function, calling the function can happen again and again. Okay, so that is actually called recursion. As an example, here is an example of Fibonacci, like factorial of a number. In case of factorial, what we do actually, let's remove these things from here, and okay, here we are going to uh, write a function which will return an integer value, and factorial will be the name of the function, and here we are going to take the number of which we are going to like return the factorial. Okay, so in the recursion of a function there is two cases. One is base case, another one is normal case or recursion case. So in case of factorial, what is the base case? 0 and 1. Okay, what is the factorial of 0 and 1? It's 1. So if n is equals to 0, or n is equals to 1, then what we are going to do? Return statement is very famous in the recursion. Okay, there should be a return type in the recursion. So now we are going to return 1, okay, as the factorial of 0 or 1. This is the base case. We have handled the base case. Else what we are going to do? Else we are going to recall the function. Okay, in the factorial, what happened? Exactly what happened? As an example, let's say we have to determine the factorial of f. So 4 factorial, it means 4 multiplied by 2 means the now sorry 3 multiplied by 2 and multiplied by 1, and it will be the answer. So we are calling we are passing 4 in the function, base case is not determined. After that we are passing 3 in the function, base case is not determined. During passing the 3 in the function, we should take care that whenever we are passing this 3 in the function, whenever that function is returning something to that 3, it should multiply it with the previous value, because the operation is cross means multiply here. Now we are recalling the function with the value 2 and ultimately 1. This from the base case it will return 1. Okay, 1 came here. Now it will return the value 2. So like you can analyze it by yourself. It will be better to understand that just dry run. Okay, dry run means take a number, pass it to the function and do it by yourself, that what it will return. Okay, so that is the thing. Now else what will happen, we're just going to return the previous value of n or current value multiplied by, recall the function factorial. So we for recalling the function, inside the function we have to write the function's name, so factorial, and we have to pass the value lesser than this, as we are doing here. We have passed 4 and after that we are passing 3 here, so that is we are multiplying 3. Okay, we are actually multiplying the lesser values with that, and after that it's going to return the actual value. And if we call the function like factorial from here directly from the main function with a value, so directly let's print it without storing the result in any variable. So we are going to declare the function or call the function with a value of 5, so it should return a value of 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay. Oh, just a second, there is a syntax error. I should give, just a second. Yeah, now it should return, like it should run. As you can see, the factorial is determined correctly. Okay, likewise if I pass 2 here, so it will at first go inside that function. It will check if n is equals to 0 or n. No, 2 is not equals to 0 or n, so it will go in the else part. 2 is stored here, 2 multiplied by 2 minus 1. So here we are passing 2 minus 1 means 1. Okay, 1 will come here, it will check yes, n is equals to 1, so it will return 1 in the value. So here this part will be replaced by 1, so 1 multiplied by 2 was previously 2, and it will finally return. Okay, so 2 into 1 2, it should return 2. Likewise you can dry run. Okay, so yeah, so that is actually recursion. Okay, now I have an you can like I will attach some HW problems, you can check those out. And also we will be doing different questions later based on recursion. We'll be having a separate sessions based on the most important questions of recursion. Okay, so that is the thing, that is very important question or important concept if you want to proceed with the data structure and algorithm, so learn it properly. Okay, now common mistakes and best practices. So forgetting to declare a function before use. Okay, uh, before using that function you forgot to declare it. Okay, like you are writing the logic and this type of parts. Not matching return type and parameter. As an example, let's say here the return type is int, but here you are, instead of uh, this percentage d, you are expecting percentage c, means you are expecting a character value from this function return. It is not allowed. Okay, you have to keep in mind. Now also the thing is that inside the function, let's say after performing some operations, okay, after performing some operation, you are like returning some string type of value. Okay, let's say there you are returning Gaurav, my name. So the return type is here string, and here in the function declaration the return type is int. So this is a conflict, you cannot do it. You should return an integer value from here if you are writing return type as int. So that is the thing, that is common mistake. And infinite recursion, missing base cases, as I have told you. Definitely if you are writing a recursion, you have to at first write the base case at the beginning, then the else part or the recursion part. Just a second. Best practices I have written here. Okay, use meaningful function names, definitely. Keep function short and focused on the task, then use comments to explain complex logics. Okay, now example program, there is example program for addition, just practice it. Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series means I am explaining it. Fibonacci series means the first number is 1, Second number is sum of previous two numbers, means 1 and nothing is there, so 1 will be there. So actually you have to fix the first and second number, the value of a and value of b. After that there will be printed, we will print sum of these two numbers, means 2. Now after that in the series what will be printed, sum of previous two values, means 2 and 1. So we are actually calling the previous two iterations in the like not the iterations, previous two values, and calling the sum of previous two values in our recursion function. So it will be 3. After that there will be 5 because previous two values are 3 and 2. After that 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. Likewise it should, the series will be like that. As an example you can see the code is written here. Okay, you can just check it out. I will be explaining each and every function in different videos. That was for today, and I think it was a big session. And if you have understood each and everything, or at least the 60% of the video, don't forget to give a like, give a thumbs up in this video, as well as just comment anything you wish in the video, and also subscribe to the channel. It will definitely give me motivation for making the next videos. So that was all for today. If you have any query you can definitely comment it out. Along with, you can find these notes in the pinned comment. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Just keep learning and enjoy your learning process. Thank you. Let's continue from the next video as mentioned in the schedule. You can check the schedule from the post section of our video, of our channel. Okay, so thank you guys and goodbye.